Let's unbox 13 kilograms of video games together. Welcome to a very special unboxing edition of a video game thrifting through Denmark. Less thrifting in this one and more just literally an unboxing video, because I've received another donation from my very giving Danish donor that last year I think sent me like a 10 kilo box of video games, if I remember correctly, but this one is 13 kilograms. And instead of me just doing it on my own, I thought I would share the experience, because he did mention that he enjoyed the video and would maybe make this experience a bit more video friendly and whatnot. So he actually wrote a message saying good luck, which is kind of a bit that makes me wonder what exactly the box is gonna contain. The caution tape is a nice extra. I gotta give it to him. This is my trusty pocket knife I found on the side of the road once. Okay, let's begin. Oh, okay. So apparently there's a boxes within boxes situation. However, we already have our first thing. No One Lives Forever. Like this is the first one. There's a sequel to it, and it's one of those games that it has such a very particular. Ooh, check this out. Has a very particular sort of vibe to it, and yeah. This is dope. I really needed this for my collection, to be honest. Red Faction, also a really cool title that I know my friend Randolph enjoys quite a bit. It's not something I played, but oh, this is nice, cool manual and whatnot. But definitely one of those things that maybe I should have played, or that I would definitely have had in my collection for sure. This is a SPORE, but it looks like it's a bit of a, yeah, okay, so this looks like it was a Voltron SPORE together. Yeah, that's fine. This is the manual and some stuff in a weird clamshell. The good thing is it's more likely for me to find an actual SPORE clamshell than the actual game. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes I just find the clamshells and then I can re-Voltron this together in its own sort of thing. But it's funny because I got the expansion for this in the last thrifting episode. So now I also have the original. I don't remember if I have SPORE, or if this is the first SPORE I SPORE, but you know, SPORE. Serious Sam. I mean, I don't know how I haven't managed to find Serious Sam up until now, but there's very little to say about Serious Sam. It's rootin' tootin' funky FPS fun, where you shoot giant, well, not necessarily raspberry people, but close enough. Ah, yes. This is something that I've been missing from my, well, I miss quite a few titles from my Heroes of Might and Magic collection, but this is something that I really wanted for my collection for a different reason. This is none other than Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. I'm not a big fan of the game. I played it and I wanted to love it back then, and I finished it, but my experience was not a fun one. As in, it was very glitchy, it was fairly linear despite the sort of choice you kind of have, the sort of branching pathways you have. Neither of those things don't mean Heroes of Might and Magic as far as I'm concerned. But considering how my opinions of Heroes of Might and Magic 5 changed when I played it, you know, a couple of years ago, like basically after 20 years, I am wondering if the same would happen if I play Dark Messiah of Might and Magic now, with as much as it's been patched. Hopefully, hopefully it's been patched in the meanwhile, because I remember a lot of bugs and glitches having to go through this game at release. So I'm wondering if that would happen again, if like 20 years later I have this more or less 180 change of heart. It's not gonna be 180. I think it's shitty. I think it's a shitty game, but I might think it's not shitty anymore. So that's interesting, and I'm super happy I finally have it. Oh, something in a big boy box. Oh yeah, which makes sense because it's Hulk. Boom. It's the first Hulk. I'm not even sure if they've made other Hulk games after this one. But the thing is, this is based on the first old Hulk movie, the Ang Lee directed one, and I remember it not having the best of reputations. I only played it a little bit, and what I played I enjoyed. So maybe I'll have to make like a video once with video games based on movies, as opposed to, you know, the traditional and very passé idea of movies based on video games, and that'll be in it. We have a cool, oh yes, this is dope. We have one of those cool cardboard thingies for Europa Universalis Rome. It looks dope. It's really cool because like it looks like a book more or less. It's embossed and shit. That's nice. Thing is, Europa Universalis is one series of games or one type of game that I never got into for reasons that actually kind of escape me. I think because it would be the type of stuff that I love. It's like grand strategy. It can also have historical aspect to it. But for whatever reason, never really got into it. And you know, just thinking, might just give that first one a try depending on how other stuff goes with the channel going forward. Oh, we have another cool box for none other than Dark Age of Camelot Catacombs. This is just the expansion. This is a massive, this is a really cool box, by the way. And again, another one that kind of looks like a book, really nice. Yeah, unfortunately, Dark Age of Camelot is an online MMORPG, but you know, this is dope. This is dope to have. And you never know when someone gets in the mood to resurrect an older MMO or just play it locally. Should be able to do that to a certain degree. Yeah, I have to show you these two, and then we'll go into some of the boxes. Star Wars Battlefront Naboo, which is super funny because I just made that, well, not just now, but in May I had that Star Wars games list. And it would be nice to have a physical version, at least that one. I mean, it would be nice to have physical versions of all of those. But especially for Star Wars chess, that would have been kind of like really difficult. But I will try to find at least the newer Star Wars games that I covered in that list. Not because they're great or good or anything, it would just be cool. Oh, and a classic for myself and for the channel, Total Overdose. I already have Total Overdose. I think I already have it at least twice, but I love this game so much that I'll just grab stuff. Also, my friends from way back when, they also kind of love Total Overdose, and my general plan is to eventually like gift them their own Total Overdose physical copy, just because Total Overdose. Smaller boxes, and this one is What is the Legacy of the Creator? It should be a Septerra Core something. It's a jewel case. Yes, it actually is. Wow, that looks horrible, but I love it. Okay, so this is quite the incredible donation. This is definitely one of my holy grails. Like last time I was talking about finding a clamshell of Nox, and although I already have a jewel case of that. This is the first physical Septerra Core I have, and if you've seen the video, if you know my channel, you know I love Septerra Core for what it could have been and also for what it was, less about how it did things. So this is the first step towards me maybe getting a boxed Septerra Core at a certain point, but this is wonderful. This is my collection finally gathering a bunch of the basics, like a bunch of the pillars, the main pillars that I aimed for when I started doing this. Excelsior indeed. I think I can reuse the box at a certain point. This one says, must show the mark of a fan. Oh, okay, wow, okay. This is indeed great. This is an actual bobblehead, vinyl bobblehead. There is a resemblance, I think.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Okay, so I am a ginormous Fallout fan, as anyone watching this should know. You know, not so much of the 4s and whatnot, although I enjoy playing 4 and whatnot. But I've never actually even thought about bobblehead, getting one. This is gonna reside next to my Adam West Batman and Judge Dredd, and also original Batman. I'm gonna have to share a photo of that when I cut this together. Thank you very much. Wowzy. Another box. This one is a bit bigger. It says, must remember the past and the foundation, even if Amazon decides to change history. Ah, so he meant the Amazon TV series. Okay, so, oh, holy moly. So this is Fallout Tactics. It has the manual, yeah. Has the CDs and has a bunch of other stuff. Has 3 CDs. Fallout Tactics came on 3 CDs. Damn, super cool. Oddly enough, Fallout Tactics, I did not have Fallout Tactics. I have Fallout 2 and 3. I don't think I found 4 yet. I don't really think I found 4 yet. But the idea is, Fallout Tactics is not canon. Wasn't canon. It's one of those games that I should have loved because it's Fallout, and it's basically Fallout with a very deep focus just on the combat, which you think would be fine, and it should be fine. However, the execution, there was something misplaced in the in between the conceptualization and the final product, which this is the execution. Something got mistranslated, some decisions were made that really unfortunately did not make this a very pleasant experience for myself. At least I know some people love it, I don't. First of all, I think it failed at being a Fallout game, and then it also failed at being a tactics game. However, if I were to maybe play it today, again, as I was saying earlier about Dark Messiah Might and Magic, maybe I feel different about it today, although I doubt it. But of course, always good to have it in the collection. And this is another one. Ah, yes. Okay, so we were talking about this, that I don't have the other Fallouts. It's a Fallout 1. Nice. And it's in a plastic sleeve, it's fine. It could have been really weird. But apparently it has, I think this was maybe part of something, because it says bundled software. But I don't care. It has the image and whatnot. My only Fallout 1 version was and still is a pirated version, which I think I still have. I don't know if it's here or if it's in Romania, but I'm pretty sure I still have that one somewhere. This is great. Ah, there's more stuff in the Fallout box, including none other than Fallout New Vegas, which you'd think I would see this thrifting, not at all. However, whatever, despite all of the games, all of the cool games that I have found while thrifting, really haven't seen Fallout New Vegas. Granted, this is for PC, but I haven't seen it really for consoles either. And I'm super glad to finally have it. I have found Fallout 3, because I have Fallout 3, but yeah, I think I have Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition even. Talking of the Fallout 3 Devil, here it is. Ooh, I didn't know that the manual was under the World War Survival Guide. That's fun, that's cool. Now, the not really an issue. As you may well know, I did a massive deep dive into Fallout New Vegas and its DLCs, and that was fun, and that took quite a while. And I was thinking if I was ever going to do more Fallout content, I would most likely go backwards in time and look at things, give another look at things. And I've played Fallout 1 and 2 quite a bit, and I think a lot of people have talked so much about Fallout 1 and 2 that well, basically all of the Fallouts, but especially 1 and 2, that it might be a bit difficult for me to come up with a new or a different type of sort of take on it. So that would kind of leave Fallout 3. I do have a very, what I think is a particular take on Fallout 3 that is unrelated to the game itself. Although I would obviously talk about the game and play through all the DLCs again, because I did play it and finished it way back when. So I was thinking that if I was ever gonna make some more Fallout content, it's probably gonna be Fallout 3. However, I'm not sure Fallout 3 falls into my current channel interval anymore. As you may have noticed, over the past couple of years, I've been pivoting more and more towards older games, old PC game classics. And this has meant that kind of like my gaming, the time interval I'm kind of dealing with here is 1990s up to 2010, basically. So if a game was released after 2010, it just doesn't go into the running, because there's just so much forgotten history that, or not necessarily just forgotten, but also sometimes ignored history in terms of PC gaming between 1990 and 2010. Before 1990 as well, but 1990 to 2010 is when, when I was growing up, more or less. I can't remember. Let me see what year this... Oh, okay. So Fallout 3 is 2008. So Fallout 3 works with my interval. So that's good. That's good. That's, well, potentially good, because it means I can actually cover it under my current sort of policy. Yes, Fallout 2 from this PC Best Buy. I think I have this one or similar. It's simple. Fallout doesn't need. It would be cool, like boxed versions would be awesome, but those cost considerably more than I could even fathom to pay. But so until that day comes, I have a much better chance of eventually affording like a boxed copy of Nox or Septerra Core. These lesser known sort of Uber games that mean a lot to me. Ooh, okay, and a Fallout 4, boom, with a featured music selection, which is dope. If there's one thing you cannot take away from the Bethesda Fallouts, is that thanks to their ginormous budgets, they could get some really awesome real world, gonna say time appropriate music, though there is a discussion there. There's a lot to discuss in that circumstance. One more box. It's a big box and an envelope. So this envelope says just no challenge here, just the yearly reminder. I do not. Okay. This is a first. I'm gonna try to use the tiny scissors if I can get them out. Okay. Oh, the tiny scissors kick ass. I don't think I need the tiny scissors anymore, but yeah. So that was dope. Ah, yes. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. This is one of those games that, again, you would have assumed I had played, considering the types of games I like and liked. But again, for whatever reason, never got around to it until, I want to say, the pandemic maybe. Like maybe before the pandemic, when I started playing it, and I enjoyed it a lot. But I realized I played through the first area, basically. I got to the second area. I realized then that the game would take so much time to properly experience that I just didn't have that type of time and willingness to invest in just one game. I want to spotlight as many games basically on the channel as I can, and just focusing on one that is obviously immense and has a super rich history and a big lore behind it and ginormous communities and fan patches and that sort of stuff. I really couldn't do it justice. I felt that I really couldn't do it justice. I still feel that way. However, at a certain point, I will get down to actually play it and do a video on it. Maybe if I feel I have something to say about it that hasn't already been said. But yeah, this is, I think I always mention, I generally, whenever I talk online and whatnot, or on the Discord server, that maybe this is the year that I'll try to play VTMB year. But you know, it's almost never that year. There's almost always something, you know, something that takes over basically. And for instance, this year, the unsuspected projects were Fantasy General, definitely. I did not, that one wasn't really on the list, to be honest. And another one that's upcoming that I'm not gonna say, but if you've been watching my channel and especially what I stream, you should have an inkling of what it is. Okay, anyway, one more box. So this one says, must commit to at least try, don't shake. I don't know if the shipping people were aware of that one, of the not shake stipulation, but let's see. Am I the idiot? Don't answer that. This might be it, actually. That's not a noise. Yeah, that might have been easier. Okay. Must commit to at least try. Why not? Oh, okay. So this is I think this is the food portion and secret game. Okay. So a Dark Angels audio drama. Okay. CZ Done Malediction. I'm gonna look into this, obviously. So despite the name, which in English has a very different connotation, this means salty licorice, and it's called spunk. I'm gonna talk more about this in a different angle. Let's see. Oh, this is it's a Dr. Pepper. Ooh, but it's a sugary Dr. Pepper. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So it's gonna have to wait a while. I generally drink sugar-free stuff, but you know, I do like Dr. Pepper. I like cherry flavored drinks. Okay, so I get it. This is the complete Danish to immigrant jokey joke. This is also a licorice based sweet, let's say, although I won't go that far. Ah, okay, more licorice. Salmiakki, fair enough. Oh, this is Skipper Spy. I think I'm gonna have to make a separate video on these to explain. And this is just horrendous. Okay. Oh, and this is just some random Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer Online stuff. Oh, it's just nice images. Cool, like a postcard. Dope. I appreciate the injection of classic, let's say, more especially this one, the pipe thing. Classic licorice deployment systems. Licorice is a big thing in Denmark, and not just in Denmark, in Scandinavia in general. It's unexplainably big, the propensity of licorice in Denmark. And it's one of those things when, you know, it's deeply rooted in the culture, and as an immigrant, it's always a fun idea to try the stuff, to experiment, even as a tourist, but you know, as an immigrant even more so, especially since one of the main ways in which I interact with a different culture is through food, because as I like to say, everyone's gotta eat. Despite how much of a, you know, of a culinary adventurer slash explorer I consider myself to be, licorice is dog shit. I've tried the salty, the sweet, the whatever I've tried all the semi-sour, whatever else. I've tried it in those forms, I've tried it in gummies, I've tried it in ice cream. It's an acquired taste, let's say. If you don't grow up with that taste, it's really hard to acquire it. I'm gonna say it's impossible to acquire it, although, you know, exceptions may exist. So I don't know about trying it. If anyone's interested on me doing a tasting video of all the licorice shit, I will. I've tried stuff previously and really not my thing. Something that's not deeply rooted in any culture, except if you're a geek, is Star Trek. Fucking hey, check out that segue, huh? This is Star Trek Away Team. You'd think Star Trek has a lot of video games, and it does. Problem is, a lot of them weren't really super good. Everyone knows Star Trek 25th Anniversary, for instance, and you know, the memeable ones. Klingon, pretty sure, and also the Borg, because those were the FMV ones with Experience Beige, Kapla, and whatnot. Everyone knows that for good reason. They're goofy ass products of their time. Now, Away Team, I never got around to play it just because it didn't have great scores, and I had better stuff to play at the time. But let me tell you this, there are some really good, okay, maybe not some really good. There's pretty good Star Trek video games out there. And I am thinking about making a video on a bunch of the lesser known ones, but I don't know if I'm gonna get in time to, or when I'll get to it, because you know, it's so that I can make basically the mirror video of the Star Wars one. So I made the Star Wars one, I should make a Star Trek one. Generally, initially I was always much more into Star Trek than Star Wars, although I haven't watched any Star Trek really since like Deep Space Nine Season 1. I did watch Enterprise, so that one is fine. But that one takes place much farther back than DS9 and Voyager. And I haven't seen any of the new shows. I've only seen the first 2 of the new movies. So I can't really say I'm a lapsed Trekkie. I'm gonna go with that. However, when it comes to video games, most of them were made way back when. So I'll be much more comfortable when we're dealing with Kirk Picard stuff. Titan Quest Deluxe Edition. Titan Quest. A Diablo 2 clone that kinda did its own thing and kinda like carved its own sort of reputation and community and fans and stuff, and something I did not play a lot of, but you know, something that maybe I should. When was it? 2007. Kinda late for a Diablo clone, Diablo 2 clone, you know, generally an action RPG. Okay, this is interesting. I don't know what it is. It's called RFB. Rush for Berlin. It looks like it's a real-time strategy, okay, set in 44 to 45. Yeah, this is interesting because I have never heard of it. That's why this is interesting. And lately I have been, as I've been talking about, I have been getting much more interested back into my strategy sort of modes, although, you know, mostly still through turn-based tactics and that sort of stuff, but you know, there's shit upcoming. Delta Force Xtreme. Oh, this is nice to see. Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl. I just got it. If you've watched the previous Thrifting episode, I just have it. I just got it then with an instruction manual. I don't know if that one has an instruction manual. I'm glad I have it now with an instruction manual. Talking about RTSs, well, World War II RTSs in particular, Sudden Strike 2. I'm curious about Sudden Strike 1. I don't think I've seen Sudden Strike 1. I think I have an expansion for Sudden Strike 1. I've played both of them way back when again. But yeah, that's odd. Oh, this is a nice simple one. MAFIA or MAFIA. Depends. One of those games that were so big. Well, it's not currently big anymore, but it spawned a series. It's definitely a classic. Like if I were to do like an is it a classic, it's definitely a classic. It's still very much playable. It spawned a series. It had very active player base and whatnot. I played it only a little bit, because again, wasn't really my sort of particular brand of nonsense. That doesn't mean I don't need to have it in my collection. Of course I do. It's a big title from the time from when I was growing up. I got another SPORE. This is from the classics version. At a certain point, I'll need to do an inventory / arrangement cleanup of my collection and see, you know, what's double, triple, quadruple, something dark side thing is. Oh, another recent discovery, Rayman M. Always nice to have another one. Again, another one of those things that I am interested in looking at. Dead Space, definitely a really awesome game. Maybe not necessarily what you'd associate with my channel or myself, but look, this came out in 2008 and I played it at release because I had a capable-ish computer and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And if you look carefully enough, well, not carefully, if you just look on my channel, you will still find one of my old movie reviews, and the reason I left that one public is because it's about Dead Space. What was it called? Dead Space Extraction? No, give me a sec. For the animation that is a prequel to Dead Space Downfall. Yeah, you can check out the video public. I'm double checking. It's a quick 4.5-minute video. The animation is not that bad. If I remember correctly, it was a bit uneven, but I think past me's opinions will be much more current than current me's opinions. That video is old as shit, by the way. It has to be 7 or 8 years old by now. Tropico, El Presidente. Tropico is what you do when you're experimenting and really want to do something different with an already very well established game genre. Tropico is basically a city builder, more or less, but the point is that you're basically leading a Cold War era Caribbean island as an authoritarian dictator. There's a lot of things that go into this. It's not just, you know, building, it's not just making the buildings, but also, you know, political, social sort of aspects. A little bit comedic, but coming from an ex-communist country, the comedy stems from reality is what I'm saying. Oh, okay, we continue this is Tropico 5, which comes in it came in a disc. I need to shift some of these because it's getting much too tall. I haven't gotten to Tropico 5. Oh, cool, another Sonic game, Sonic Heroes. Much like last time when I got Sonic 3D, I know nothing about these games, but it's fun. This is dope. This is a dope way of doing multi-disc clamshells. Yes, this is very dope. I need to see if I can find more clamshells like this. Maybe I'll have to do a video once with all the Sonic games that are also on PC. That'll be interesting. Shadow Company Left 4 Dead. It looks not great, so it's definitely splendid for my channel. I think this is some sort of either real-time or sort of real-time tactics thingy, because it has Shadow Mercenaries, build your force, direct your team. Yeah, I think it's kind of like Hidden and Dangerous, which again I haven't played and should have played, but you know, it is what it is. But great to have. You never know, like I was saying earlier, Fantasy General wasn't really in the card to make a video about. I randomly decided, literally it was pretty random, to just stream it, and I just loved the experience so much that it became a thing. So you never really know, or I never really know. Another cool thing that I should have played but never got around to is Desperados. Well, this is Wanted Dead or Alive. I don't know if this was the full title or this is the expansion or something, but the idea is real-time turn-based. Well, no, it's just real-time tactics. It can be real-time turn-based. I'm an idiot. Although technically it can be, but those systems are weird. So real-time tactics based on Commandos, more or less, which I also never played, which again I should have, but when Commandos was big, I didn't have a computer capable of playing Commandos. That's why I've played much older games than that. That's why I love playing older games than that, like Afterlife and Zed, for instance, which again, there's really old videos about those on my channel, which I would love to remake, but I'm not gonna, because I don't think they're gonna do better than the old ones. Monsterville, a monstrous management game, power corruption and election horror. I have no idea what this is. It says Universal Studios Monsters. It's based on the classic Universal Monsters, which that's always dope. It's a strategy management game by the makers of Dune 2000 and Emperor Battle for Dune. That's just how I pronounce that title. Which again, I should actually maybe do a video on Emperor Battle for Dune now that I've been I think I'm just gonna leave like one Dune title, one Dune video per year. And I've already done technically 2 this year, because I've done from Dune 2 to Dune 2000 and beyond. And then I did the how to play Dune 2 and Dune 2000 on modern thingies. And I'm actually planning another partially Dune themed video. So yeah, probably Emperor Battle for Dune is for next year. It has 12 famous monsters, 40 different buildings, 4 campaigns, and thousands of possible interactions. This is goofy and weird enough for me to actually check it out, because also I like the classic ones. Another Hulk. I got 2 Hulks. Ooh, Command & Conquer Red Alert 3. I have the Command & Conquer 10 anniversary deluxe ginormous thing. Yeah, but that one, I don't think that one has Red Alert 3. Now Red Alert 2 was the big thing. This is a series that it was at its best when it was goofy and wasn't taking itself super seriously. Basically Red Alert 2. I'm gonna have to splice the incomparable Tim Curry after that one.
Space!
Talking about, I mean, I wasn't talking about this, but Dawn of War, Anthology, all 3 dope, mega-tastic. Because I think I have all of them. Wait, is this all of them? It's Winter Assault, Dark Crusade. No, I think they came out with another one. I think they came out with, I wanna say Soulstorm, Soulstrike, something like that. You might not know this, but I really love a lot of the Warhammer 40k games that are strategy tactics sort of based. That's why I'm still covering battle sector, even if it's not within my current channel theme. But that one, I started covering that one since like its demo, more or less, since early access. It got grandfathered in, as it were. So I'll basically cover Battlegrounds for as long as I get review codes for the DLCs, because I love it so much. And I also really kind of enjoyed Gladius as well, and I have a video on that. But I'm thinking of maybe getting back into that one, because back when I played it, it was unbalanced. Still really fun. I remember calling in the video, I called it a game of paradoxes, if I remember correctly. However, that one is relatively new. But the Dawn of War series is well within my temporal interval. Unfortunately, the first one there's so much, like the campaigns are really long. Gladius is pretty cool and nice and things, but and I know it's had a bunch of DLC after I covered it, so I might be making some exceptions here and there for my temporal sort of thing, but you know, I need to see, and I need to be sure that's a good move. And can't really say my battle sector videos haven't set the channel on fire, basically, growth wise. Oh, finally a SimCity 4. Finally, a new entry in my SimCity collection, which I only have the one made in 2016, I want to say, which is kind of sad. Again, I didn't play the series because it's not my thing, it's not my type of city builder, but this is definitely a classic seminal series for the city building genre. Now, this is very apropos. Talk about foreshadowing, not really. Dead Space 2. Didn't play 2, didn't play 3, I only played the first one. I really enjoyed the first one, and you know, it's a good thing to have. By the way, wasn't Dead Space, could I cover Dead Space now? I think so. I think it was also up until I don't think it was past 2010. Give me a sec. This one was 2011, so I could cover Dead Space if I want. Oh, No One Lives Forever 2. Dope! I could cover both of them now. Or just, you know, the first one. But yes, you know, sometimes you see discussions about like, what game series would you want to see remastered, remade, refucked? And usually the answers are the same, like very well-known, massive top 3, 5, 10 game of a particular genre or console, most likely. No one understands the point of remaking a less than stellar game to be what it should have been. Because obviously, since that thing didn't sell initially, it's not gonna sell. People are gonna remake things that are popular. Just like people watch videos about stuff that's popular. That's why they don't watch my shit in general. That aside, No One Lives Forever would be definitely one of those series that could do with a really cool modern sprucey upper. Remake, remade, reimage, holy shit. So, first of all, Pandemonium 2 in a cardboard sleeve. I have a Baldur's Gate. I have Baldur's Gate 1 in a similar cardboard sort of thing, and something that is a massive classic. Redneck Rampage. Oh yeah. I haven't played Redneck Rampage in, well, I can't even remember how old I was when I played it initially. It's been a while. Let's just go with that one. I doubt it's 30 years. It's close to 30 years maybe. Okay, so it hasn't been out for 30 years, but it kind of feels like that. Midtown Madness 2, one of those games, one of those car games, one of those few car games, well, and or Midtown Madness 1. That is, you know, it's a classic. For better or worse, which I've also played a little bit. Though, you know what I did play? What car game I did play and finish? Something called, I think it was called M25 Racer, I think. And the point was you were racing down the M25 motorway in England, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Evil Genius. This was, again, one of those thingies, one of those odd, quirky titles that should have maybe made a much bigger splash than it did. It's definitely the type of stuff that nowadays, especially if you make it for mobile, could, and probably there are clones of this. There's probably Evil Genius clones on mobile that I don't know about. The point being, it will do well. Oh, check this out, another Settlers 1. Haha, now I have 2 Settlers 1s, and it's again in the PC Best Buy pocket thing, this one. Now, I'm curious about this pocket series because the Settlers is the only thing I've ever seen in this series and it's kind of cool. I think I have most of the Settlers games in physical format, except maybe no, I think I have them up until 7 actually, except for Settlers 2 original. I have Settlers 2 anniversary, 10th anniversary edition, which is the one I covered, but I don't think I have the second one. SimCity 3000 in a clamshell, which is dope because I have, if you remember, I do have it in a jewel case, which I found at some shop in the audio section, I mean. Okay, this is Silent Storm. Again, another World War II game. I don't know if it's real time, not real time. I'm thinking I'm gathering so many of these. I think I can make like a weird sort of World War II, lesser known World War II video games. Tactical video games, maybe. I have a bunch of jewel cases and a bunch of solo discs, which I need to see what to do with. Neverwinter Nights, again, in the black box, which I already have, but it's Neverwinter Nights. Which you think, yeah, I think maybe I would, considering the amount of Neverwinter Nights CDs I have, discs I have, I should cover that one. Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of Amn in an actual cardboard box. This is dope. It's seen better days, better years, but classic. Total War Shogun DOS. Yeah, there's so many great games I want to get to that because again, that I've never gotten around to when it was their time. And the first Total War Shogun would be one of them. And we'll see, maybe we get there. I was talking about Commandos 2 in this cool. I'm pretty sure I have Commandos. Yep, I have Commandos 2 previously in the sold out version, but now I can also have the not sold out version, which I don't mind. Batarang, let's see. Oh, haha, fun. Seeds of a Solar Empire, talked about this in the older thrifting video, so I'm not gonna repeat myself, but I might play it. What's this? Oh, Robin Hood, The Legend of Sherwood, the lesser known of the, what was I saying earlier? Real-time tactical games in the same vein of Commandos and Desperados, but this one is with Robin Hood. Yes! Amarzone, The Explorer's Legacy. I wasn't aware this game existed until I did my bootleg history, until I started my bootleg history series, which, by the way, if you're not watching my bootleg history series, I don't know why you're watching this instead of that. That one's much shorter and, you know, weirder. So I wasn't aware of this title until I covered it, basically. And it became one of those low-key things I want in my collection. Maybe I'll get around to it. I don't know. Adventure games are a difficult sell in general, like videos about adventure games. Although technically, the few videos I've made on adventure games have done moderately well. But I think that has more to do with the games themselves, the reputation of the games, than just the people's interest in adventure games. But you tell me. Oh yes, another, maybe a cup, but I'm not sure. Black and White, the first one, the OG. I'm not sure if I have this, actually. So I covered it, you know I've talked about Black and White, but I'm not sure if I actually have the game in its physical format. So it's great. Oh yes, finally. You'd think I would find this, but I haven't found any of them. Anno 1503 in a clamshell. Finally, I have an Anno title in my collection. I've covered all of the historic Anno games except for except for 1800 because that's new and fuck Ubisoft. But I definitely want them in my collection and I finally have one. Thank you. Shit. Oh, it's another Sonic game on PC. It's called Sonic R and the graphics are really chunky. But the thing is, I already have 3 Sonic games that are on PC. So that in itself is maybe enough material to actually make a video out of. Now we're going to the jewel cases and the jewel cases are jewel casey. Diablo. Now, mind you, it's in highest quality, lowest price. Fucking A. I don't think I have Diablo originally, you know, a licensed variety of Diablo. Oh, damn. Mighty Magic 8, Day of the Destroyer. I haven't played, I'm pretty sure I played some Might and Magics at a certain point in the old days, but it wasn't on my computer and I cannot remember if it was indeed a Might and Magic game that I played at my friend's house. But definitely, I mean, super classics. And unfortunately, these are, again, these games are so ginormous. I don't think I have the type of time to get back, to get into them properly nowadays. But that doesn't mean I'm not gonna collect them. Oh, yes, definitely, always. Dune 2000. Also, it says it's in French. That's not the game's fault. Yeah, it is a French Dune 2000. It's better than none. I do have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of clamshelled ones. I have a sold out one for sure, and I think I have a non-sold out one as well. But considering how much I love Dune, like the book, and the games also, I'll do my best to gobble up all the spice I can. This is a Sierra game called Harvest of Souls. I'm gonna wager it's an adventure game because it is a Sierra game from '97. And keep in mind, Sierra is also the same publisher company who did Phantasmagoria. So yeah, it's most likely like a horror-ish sort of adventure game. Ooh, another Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. And I've actually played this and I remember enjoying it. I don't know if this would be on my list of, you know, like lesser known good Star Trek games, because I think a fair bit of people know about Elite Force, but you know, it's nice to finally have at least 2 Star Trek titles in my collection. Oh, drop the whatever you're doing. This is none other than Microsoft Encarta 97 World Atlas. It says the most comprehensive world atlas ever created. And growing up, there was no internet really. So some of the most useful, literally useful, valid sort of CDs you could have would be encyclopedias. And I do remember spending so much time on Encartas, on various Encartas or Britannicas, and I would just like basically browse them as I would later on browse the internet. This was mid to late 90s, keep in mind. And even a bit later on actually, because we didn't really have a lot of internet up until, I'm gonna say 2002, 2003. I actually had broadband from 2004. So basically for the start of the 2000s, I wrote a lot of essays based on encyclopedias and CDs, and these were everything. And it's so dope to have this. I mean, this isn't an encyclopedia, it's a word atlas, but world atlas. Here's something I don't have on its own. It's a sold out version of Broken Sword 2. Now I have it on a compilation. I have it with Broken Sword 1 and 2. Oh no, I do have it. I have Broken Sword 2. Okay, this is good. I also have it from sold out. I don't have Broken Sword 1 as a standalone thingy. Oh, this is interesting. This is called The Dame Was Loaded. And I'm gonna venture again another adventure game, sort of. It says an adventure set in the world of a 1940s private eye. Is it FMV though? Yep, it's an FMV game. And I don't really think I've seen this mentioned that much. So if I were to do something, an adventure game, it would probably be this one, just for the cool, obscure feature of it, because you know, people are into FMV, seeing FMV stuff. Ooh, Caesar 3, jewel case. I have it in clamshell, but look, it's Caesar 3, ooh, purpley. I will never pass up an opportunity of getting any of the Impressions games in any format. Could be punch cards, I would go for it. This is a Magic the Gathering starter level demo in English. Does it teach you how to play the game with cards or with the or is it like a video game? Huh. Now this would be awesome. I think this could fit well into the weird nonsense find that I was thinking about doing in the prior episode. As I was saying, Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templar, the first one. Haha, separately. It is in a jewel case, but it's a pretty cool jewel case, by the way. So now I have this. You should know I covered it relatively recently. I covered it sometime earlier this year. I covered the original and the director's cut, basically doing a slight comparison. If only I had had the physical stuff. Again, I'm not doing, I don't want the physical games to, you know, run them off the physical games, although that would be worth trying. But just because it would be cool to just do like a quick clip like this to have something physical to show to camera. That's why I kind of stopped appearing on camera during my reviews in general or during my videos, because if I don't have anything physical to show, why spend the time? Because setting up the lights and the space and having the time and the sound and the quiet and stuff to shoot live action stuff, it's extra time that I could just not waste. King's Quest, Mask of Eternity. One of those series, one of those massive adventure game series that I tried some of the King's Quests, but unfortunately I think that was a situation of me being introduced to adventure games via the LucasArts games, not the Sierra. Basically I didn't like that you could die and that there were so many ways to die in the Sierra game. So that's why I never got into them. And another Star Wars game, Episode 1 Racer, arguably possibly the better/best video game that came out as a result of that movie. Though I would be curious to replay Star Wars Episode 1, the Star Wars Episode 1 video game, and see how it does, how I feel about it today. Yes, another Anno 1602 jewel case, but hey, dope. Dope is dope, collection is collection. I have so many jewel case stuff that I'll need to get like one of those old school retro CD holders. Space Quest 6 Roger Wilco. Boom. This was very heavy on the adventures. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Again, since I've tried some of the Space Quest as well, and Leisure Suit Larry as well. Although you can't necessarily die in Leisure Suit Larry, if I remember correctly, or at least in the ones I played, it's a bit hard to get into these. Even in my video on Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, despite how good the game is in basically all of its aspects, with the exception of the maze puzzles, which I don't have the patience for. I don't think that's a modern gaming expectation anymore. That's what I was trying to express in that. Like, if you look at the game through more modern expectations, everything is great, everything is still super playable, with the exception of the many maze puzzles. Promotional CD of Far Cry. Boop. I don't think I've had any Far Cries. Always enjoy these colors. When was this released? A Shooter Paradise. Could I cover this? 2004. Oh yes. Talk about odd classics, interesting classics. I have a Blade Runner here. It has a bunch of discs and stuff in it. It has a lot of discs. This one, I know this one's had sort of remake from Night Dive that wasn't one of their best releases, but nice to have. And talk about something I did play, Beneath a Steel Sky. This would be another adventure game that I would want to go back to. Another Amor Zone. Oh, actually, it should be another Amor Zone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dope. I have so many Amor Zone now. This is another great series that I haven't really found shit. It's Jagged Alliance, Jagged. How do you pronounce it? Do you pronounce that Jagged or Jagged? I think you need to say Jagged just so you accentuate it, but it's also, you can also say Jagged as far as I know. Deadly Games. This should be the first one, and I think it's the expansion maybe, or just the first one. It's called that. Can't remember for sure. I know the second one is Jagged Alliance 2. Jagged Alliance 2. The Star Wars collection enhances itself with Dark Forces. This one also got a super duper remake recently. Nice. Okay, now I only have these cool stuff. Ghostmaster, although this says bonus disc, so I don't know if it's also Ghostmaster. Very interesting title that's been gaining a bit of a cult sort of following. GTA, yes. If you remember, I had just found GTA in the last episode. And you know what? I have a great idea of what to do with these, but in the future. 3 CDs of Discworld Noir, which I'm pretty sure Unicom could tell me a fair bit about. Neverwinter Nights 2, Rayman 3, demo PC CD. Nice, this is a demo CD. GTA 2, yes. The Longest Journey, always in my heart. in mind. Desperados, Wanted Dead and Alive. Jagged Alliance, and this doesn't have deadly games on it. Oh, this is interesting. This is called Asterix Mega Madness. Oh, it says minigame, not for sale, not to be sold separately, only distributed with Kellogg's branded cereal packs. Oh, this is a... Okay, so this is definitely a collector's item, technically speaking, because it's rare. Thank you. We end this with Dark Messiah of Might and Magic on a loose disc. That's been 13 kilograms of video games. You know, well, almost 13 kilograms, because I did receive like a can of Dr. Pepper, a bunch of licorice, and this guy. So thank you very much to the donor. What I have to do now is basically I need to entry all of these into my physical games database, and by database I do mean a spreadsheet, and just so that when I go thrifting I know I have stuff and don't double up on stuff necessarily that I don't want. You know, I'll double up on stuff if it's, you know, Impressions games, Dune, Nox. If I ever see another Nox, holy shit. The collection started, I think, 2 years ago, pretty much. At a certain point, I'll have to look back and see where it is. This has been an insanely long video. I've been Steve Anansis. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.